Hello, my lovely Aquarians. This is your reading for the week of June 22nd, or when you see it and it resonates with you. And of course, it's Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, and it will not be for everybody. I love this one. This is the image that I started with you is this. You had a bowler hat on, which is something I associate with, British, stiff upper lip kind of thing, like an umbrella and a waistcoat and, but you're taking it off and you're putting it over there. So, if we take it out of the comical image, it really is associated with work, constraint, looking a certain way. There's that quality of living up to an image with that. You're taking it off and you're putting it aside. It's still there. Now you're looking over here and ooh, there's a straw one that grabs your interest. And it's got feathers. Oh, and it's got something else on it too. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's fun. And you're putting it on and it's colorful. So you've got straw, but you've got colors coming with it. And they're quite bright. Not a lot, but what's there is bright. Now, what I was seeing with this was that while many of you have been working with the energy of that first hat, the bowler hat, the must do, must constrain, must achieve, must get done, whether it was a project or a phase of life where you were having to just manage things as they came, it feels as though that it was a lot of work for a lot of you and that there was quite a lot of stress involved. And what I'm feeling with that is some of you might still be holding some of that in your body. So the suggestion with this is not just take the hat off, but then I see you literally almost like shaking your body like, just the way a dog would shake after it gets traumatized or scared by something. It's the limbic system just shaking the stress off out of the system. And I feel as though that would be an indicator for me that maybe some of you are still holding stress in your nervous system. And what that might look like is, well, it might be difficulty sleeping, digesting, basically a nervous system that is out of balance can throw any of your other systems out of balance too. So check in to see whether or not you're carrying extra pains in your body, digestive issues, sleep issues, things like that, hormonal issues that are evident. And just kind of look at that and see if maybe there's a little bit left there for you to work with. Just a suggestion, no diagnosing, no treating. But the other thing that I saw was this. When you take one hat off and you put the other hat on, it's different ways of thinking, okay? It's not just the thoughts, it's the way of thinking. So what you've got now is you have put on this new hat, this fancier hat, this slightly daring hat. And within that now, what Spirit is saying is embrace the new thoughts that go on with that hat. Because if you put this new hat on, the tendency is going to go back to the kind of thoughts you had while wearing the old hat, or applying yourself in the same way you did with the old hat, because that's become very much a part of your personality. But this new hat now is giving you the opportunity to say, how would I like to do this differently? If I used to, for example, diet this way in the past, and it always worked, but now it's not. Well, that's because that thought goes with that old way of thinking. You have changed. So it doesn't just change in one aspect of you, it changes many different aspects of you. As soon as your thought starts to change, then your body chemistry starts to change. And so now it's time for you to look at what's working that used to work, what's not working that used to work. Does it need to be adjusted? Does it need to be changed? This is where you get to really see some of the impact that the changes have had on you in a positive way. You might actually, if we use the diet example, you might find, for example, that you don't need to diet to achieve what you want, whether it's a difference in weight or a difference in health. You might find it's something completely different. Right? Now, the card that you're getting, I really like this because you have got a lot of cards that are about openness, about change, about positive change. You've got the Grace card, which is basically saying remember that grace is not earned. It's there for everybody. You just have to open to it. Excuse me. You just have to open to it. For no apparent reason, a divine influence strengthens us in a way that eases whatever problematic or miserable state we find ourselves. Grace needs only to be accepted in order to be received. So this is going along with the new hat now. So is the gratitude card. The gratitude card, which is remembering that there is always that sense of abundance that goes along with gratitude. And that in that state, we are free from yearning. We're free from the stress of achieving and grabbing because we've already got. So there's that quality of stillness and ease that comes with gratitude. You've also got the humility card, which in this case I really love, because what it's saying is there's more at work than just you. So no matter, and it goes right back to the different way of thinking with the different hats. As you go through your day, remember that there are other influences which may know better. So in this case, it might be your intuition that comes in with the hat, rather than the logical thinking that comes in with the old bowler hat. No matter what you know, think, or what you're planning to do, remain open to the idea that there is wisdom beyond yours, and stay open to the input. Something new is coming, Aquarius. Now, the other thing that is here, it really addresses your childhood. And it addresses the idea of, if you had had your idea of a perfect childhood, what characteristics might you have today that you feel are lacking in your life that would actually help move you forward? So that's actually kind of a cool one. That one you can look at and say, well, if my parents had been less afraid of the world, I would have more confidence. I would probably be more out there challenging more things in my life, because I would have grown with more of a sense of the world being a safe place to explore rather than something to protect myself from. Now, in this case, that's just one simple example. But if we're talking about the different hat and the different ways of thinking, this is a great time for you to look at this and say, okay, what do I see in myself that is getting in the way of me moving forward at this moment in time? Am I bumping up against things that didn't work, that don't work, that used to? Am I bumping up against thoughts and ways of being that don't seem to fit anymore? And what would be the opposite to that? Would that be linked to a characteristic you had in childhood? And it might be, oh my gosh, there's so many different things that come to mind. But for you, Aquarius, what I would say is this. You've got the grace card. You've got there's more in line than just you. You've got the, excuse me. Yes, this is perfect. They also showed me another one, and that is the rainbow. You and your fancy hat. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Aquarius. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So this for me is saying, yes, grace, gratitude, abundance. There's more at work than just you, and you are compensating already. This is about you having overcome. Yes, indeed. This is about you having overcome some of the limited things in your character because of certain aspects of your childhood. So this, for me, is a beautiful, beautiful support and encouragement, acknowledgement of what you've done, and an acknowledgement of moving you forward. Now, we know that not everybody's on the same trajectory or the same timeline with these things. So if you are someone who's coming into feeling like you need to get rid of the hat, or having put the hat down but not knowing what the new one is, what you're being told is lean into grace. Really accept grace. And remember that gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you're ever going to get. So the more you can be genuinely grateful for things in your life, and it might be something as simple as being able to breathe more easily these days. This is it. Whatever it is that you can be grateful for, allow yourself to feel it. Encourage yourself to keep going back to that. And remember that you've already done the work, a lot of you, or are in the process of doing it. And that as you do that, remember that you have got help. And that you can lean into grace if it gets difficult for you. Okay? Aquarius, I'm going to leave you with that because I think there's a lot in there. Much love. Take care.